let's talk about Tigers Are Not Afraid, the 2017 breakthrough dark fantasy movie of director Issa López. That name may sound familiar to fans of True Detective North Country. López directed the 4th season of the acclaimed show starring Jodie Foster. For López's Tigers Are Not Afraid, let's look at the lineage it connects from and the present it speaks to. While every country makes horror films, some of the greatest horror films have come from Hispanic and Latin American countries and filmmakers. Per NPR, Latina moviegoers comprise 25% of horror film attendance in theaters. Nicole Froio argues that across the diaspora, elders tell and pass down eerie and hair-raising tales like La Llorona and El Chupacabra. With these legends woven into many Latina people's life experiences and cultural heritage, it makes sense that we are curious about the paranormal. These legends influenced early horror films like Fernando de Fuentes' El Fantasma del Convento, or The Phantom of the Monastery, a 1934 horror film from Mexico. Hollywood in this early period understood the appeal of horror films for Hispanic audiences and with Hispanic creatives. While Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi, is well known, Universal Studios made a Spanish-language version concurrently using the same sets. Aquí. Detente. This Hispanic horror lineage includes landmark filmmaker George A. Romero. The filmmaker behind Night of the Living Dead and countless horror and zombie classics was Cuban-American. Guillermo del Toro has served as the major force of dark fantasy and horror in the 21st century. Del Toro has worked mostly in Hollywood after beginning his career in his native Mexico with Cronos. He would later make the Spanish set The Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth. Outside his own directing career, Del Toro boosted other Hispanic and Latina filmmakers with their horror breakthroughs. Del Toro served as the executive producer of The Orphanage, the breakthrough of Spanish filmmaker J.A. Bayona, as well as Mama, the debut of Argentine filmmaker Andy Muschietti, who would direct box office hits It Part 1 and 2. Issa López's film Tigers Are Not Afraid connects with this lineage and these filmmakers. For instance, Tigers features a story about a young girl in what feels like a dark fairy tale similar to Pan's Labyrinth. Yet, Tigers goes beyond these films and focuses on present-day issues. In Tigers, students orphaned from the drug violence in Mexico try to escape the cartels led by El Chino, played by future Black Panther star Tenoch Huerta, with magic chalk given by a teacher that grants 3 wishes. Through the film, we see these young protagonists encounter ghosts and haunting magic, and the haunting of present-day horrors no child should see. By intersecting the paranormal and dark legends, Froio mentions with a present, harsh reality many have to live in, López speaks to a moment happening in Hispanic fiction. López's movie not only belongs to the horror lineage in Hispanic cinema, but to a current moment of Latin American women using the horror genre as a way to unpack real daily horrors. Those who follow Book Talk have likely heard of horror books like Tender as the Flesh by Argentine writer Agustina Bastarrica and Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. A 2022 New York Times article highlights how Bastarrica, Mariana Enriquez, and Samantha Schweblin, quote, use different means to confront the often fraught realities for women in the region. These writers write in connection with movements like Ni Una Menos, or Not One More, a Latin American feminist movement against femicide in particular and equal rights generally. The murder of 16-year-old Lucia Perez in Argentina provoked the growth of this movement across Latin America. Through horror and what scholar Carmen Alemany Bay calls narrative of the unusual, these stories allow audiences to explore difficult truths in more accessible and emotionally connective ways. With Tigers, we see similar fraught realities confronted by way of the paranormal and dark fantasy. Tigers transcends a simple thrill ride experience and uses horror to help audiences reckon with everyday issues many children face.